Coach, as we hit the end of January, I guess first off, the App State Athletics Hall of Fame, Austin Trotman, he's part of the 2024 Hall of Fame class. That was delayed until the spring because it was happened at the time of the storm. But Austin and others will be inducted officially this weekend. Just your thoughts on coaching him and what was it like for the experience he had as such a successful wrestler at App State?
Yeah, Austin's been a big part of my story here at Appalachian State. He was the first All-American that I coached, and so a little bit sad that I'm not going to be able to be here this weekend. We actually wrestle on Friday night at Bellarmine, so I will not be at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. But had a great experience with Austin. He did so much for this program, and like I said, he was the first All-American that I coached, and. I think it's great to start seeing some of my own guys, the guys that I coach, start getting inducted in the Hall of Fame and when they've achieved so much. And, Austin was a North Carolina native, bought into my recruiting pitch when I recruited him coming out of high school, and developed here, did well for us, and had a great run at the NCAA tournament that was almost magical in 2012. He was also part of that first conference championship team that I coached, and so a lot of great memories with Austin. I think he's had a great wrestling career. He wrestled even after collegiately. He wrestled internationally and was on a couple of Team USA's. So just hats off to Austin, and glad to see he's finally getting his induction in the Hall of Fame.
To finish third at the NCAA is what stands out about that run that he had. I think it was in St. Louis that year.
Well, I think if I remember correctly, he beat the 1, 2, and 3 seeds at the national tournament and didn't win it. He lost just by, I think he lost in sudden victory to the eventual champ in the semifinals. He upset the number 1 seed in the quarters. It was just a magical tournament, and also having Kyle Blevins, who was an All-American with them that year. But it's such a big deal, to wrestle and be the top 3 in the country in Division I and maybe kind of finally getting over that hump where he had been very close maybe in years previous to that, but seeing him kind of everything coming to fruition and him wrestling his best in 2012 was obviously one of the highlights of my career, and I got a lot of great memories from that.
Moving forward to this year, it was a busy weekend. You had the App Open on Saturday, and then you hosted PC on Monday. I guess the App Open, for what you had entered and what you wanted to accomplish there, how did you think the guys performed?
Well, I thought we had a pretty decent showing on Saturday. We had a couple of starters that wrestled, but the majority of our team was our red shirts and our backups, and we ended up having 2 champs. I think we had 6 placers or so. So I thought it was a good day. Some of our guys got some matches that needed matches. Some of our young guys hadn't wrestled in almost 2 months. So that's the good thing about the Appalachian Open is it gives some of our guys experience that might not be a regular in our starting lineup, and it's really important for them to have competition second semester. Keep them motivated, give them something to work on in practice, and also keep them accountable. So.
To shut out Presbyterian, win at all 10 weights. There was 1 forfeit, but then 9 other victories that were contested. Just your thoughts, and the lineup looked a little different with some guys getting their first chance in that kind of setting.
Yeah, I think anytime you win all the bouts, I think that's that's hard to do. It's hard to win at all 10 weights, and I was proud of our team for being able to respond and step up and do that. Also with some young guys and some backups in our lineup, and Colby McBride had to bump up a weight class to win at 133. So there was a lot of great things that I could speak of in that duel. And I think also Presbyterian's got a couple of pretty good wrestlers. I think their 41 and their 84-pounder are both pretty good, and we were able to still get victories at those weight classes. So I thought it was all in all a great duel. We scored a lot of points, and I was proud of the way our guys responded on Monday.
The NCAA rankings that came out last week had 4 guys. I think Will, Carson, and Luke are still in those Flow Intermat rankings. I guess one guy that's probably trying to push for that's had a strong stretch here is Caden Keyser. Just the growth that you've seen from him from maybe the start of the year of, maybe the first weekend didn't go exactly how he wanted, but it seems like he's wrestling really well right now.
Yeah, I think for him, he had a rusty. He really only had 1 bad tournament. He didn't wrestle great at his first tournament of the year way back in November. But since then, he's been a model of consistency. He's wrestling well, and I think he's getting better each and every time. His confidence is growing, and I think we're starting to maybe develop a little bit of a more well-rounded wrestler in Caden. I think he's getting better on the mat. I think he's always been pretty good on his feet, but I think he's getting better on the mat, and that's one of the things that we've put a lot of emphasis on since November. And I think he's getting better and better each and every week. And I think he's still getting overlooked a little bit in the national polls, but he's definitely a formidable opponent with anybody.
Looking forward, next 2 duels on the road, including a long trip up to Louisville for Bellarmine. Just your thoughts on some of the keys there with both the travel and just a young program that's developing and has some good wrestlers and have done some good things over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think Bellarmine is an up-and-coming program. I know they were very strong at the Division II level before making the transition to Division I. This is their first year to be able to compete at the conference tournament and qualify guys for the national tournament, but they've got some quality wrestlers in their program. I mean, we know that it's going to be a tough battle on Friday night on the road at their home place. So our guys, we have to be ready. We have to be ready. One of the things that we preach each and every week is consistency, and Friday night Bellarmine is going to require us being consistent and being motivated and disciplined and being aggressive and attacking and scoring a lot of points, because they're a very good team, and we've got to be ready to wrestle.
Not to look ahead of that, but then with another road trip after that, just how you kind of handle with the travel and just some of the wear and tear that happens with that, of just how you'll kind of manage that's part of the schedule.
Well, typically after a duel like at Bellarmine, we would get on the bus and come back to Boone. But because we have such a short turnaround on Tuesday, I didn't really want to put our guys on a bus all night coming back from Louisville. So we actually made the decision to stay in Louisville Friday night. So after the duel, we'll check back in the hotel, let our guys get a good night's rest, and because our sleep cycles are really important this time of year in recovery. So we'll go back to the hotel, recover, let our guys get a good night's sleep, and then we'll load the bus on Saturday morning, come back to Boone, and then get here for time to practice in the afternoon. So our guys won't be missing a lot of sleep, and hopefully we'll be able to recover and all that kind of stuff before we make the trip back. And Gardner-Webb's another good team that we've got to be ready to go against on Tuesday. I mean, this stretch, these probably the last 7 days, and then the upcoming 9-10 days are going to be a grind, and we know that as a program. Our guys know that it's a grind, and they've got to do a good job of taking care of their bodies and recovering and being ready and motivated to get themselves up for each and every one of these matches, because they're all important. And all of our teams in our conference now are competitive, and there are no pushovers. We've got to be ready to wrestle every time we step out.